Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. How is everyone doing this evening? We are getting ready for the big celebration, 4th of July weekend here in the US, and I believe today is Canada Day. So happy Canada Day to everybody out there celebrating in Canada. And I'm sporting my red, white, and blue, getting ready for the big weekend. Although they're putting a lot of the fireworks shows on hold in our area, at least, due to extreme fire dangers and us coming off of 115 degrees. Can you believe that? Temperatures I would expect coming from the southern U.S., but definitely not something we see here in the Pacific Northwest, even in Portland. It just doesn't happen. So it's been really crazy here. And I've found that I really can't live in a climate that has 115 degrees. I think my max is about 88. So I think I've learned really quickly that I won't be able to live in those areas. I'm a wimp. I know I'm a coastal baby, and that is when I am used to some lower temperatures. Anyway, I hope that wherever you are, that you are doing well, that you're surviving all these crazy weather conditions, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I had a conversation with a friend of mine today, and actually a few days ago as well. And we'd been talking about people being in victim mode. And what do I mean by that? So we all go there sometimes, and it's okay. It's part of our humanness, if you will, to go, why is this happening to me? Right? I'm sure you've had that conversation. I'm sure that you have heard that, from other people. Why is this happening to me? I don't understand. So, we were talking about this, and it's okay to have those feelings. It's okay to go through that, but to stay there and unpack your bags and live there is not very healthy. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for the loved ones around you, your friends, your family. So how do you turn that around and change the energy on that? And so we were having a conversation about this, and she brought up a very good point, and one that I had forgotten about. So I thought it would be a really good topic to share with you all tonight. So instead of saying, why is this happening to me, turn it around and say, why is this working for me, right? What is in it that is working for me? Not against me, but for me. And I've been kind of playing around with this a little bit. And what it does is it changes the energy almost instantly. It's really fascinating. So I encourage you that when you are starting to feel this feeling of why me, turn it around and say, what is this doing for me, right? Because it's amazing. It's it just instantly changes the energy. And I noticed it too. And then you actually go, oh, wait a minute. Okay. So maybe this is happening to me or working for me in my best and highest good, right? And what would that be? Maybe there is a situation going on at your work and you're thinking, why is this happening to me, right? Well, turn it around. Why is it working for you? What is in your favor? And dissect it and think about it, right? You could find that a situation that feels really icky and sticky and yucky is really working for you because maybe you need to advance somewhere in your work environment, and this is pushing you in that direction. Because remember, growth doesn't always feel good, right? Within us, we want to stay forever in our little cocoons where it feels good, it feels safe, and sometimes growth really is a little bit uncomfortable, to say the least. And so that's when you know that you're growing, because you're getting pushed out of your comfort zone. You're getting pushed. It feels a little off. It doesn't feel quite right. It's feeling, giving you a little anxiety, about moving and forward and doing this. And that's when you know that the real growth is about to happen. So taking yourself out of this victim mode and putting yourself into, turn these around and asking that question of, how is this working for me, right? Can change that energy and make you start thinking about all those other good things that could be coming down the pike, right? So again, it's okay to feel this way. Just don't unpack the bags and stay there, because it's just not healthy to do that, to stay in victim mode for long periods of time. It changes the energy. It stops your growth in your path, your spirituality, in your humanness. It stops everything when you are in that victim mode. And so change the energy and change it up for yourself and see how that works. I think that you will find that it's a beautiful thing if you can remember and being in awareness to do this. It can change things. It can change your life. It can change your outcome, and it can change your thought process. So work on that. I think that you will find it's a great tip and a great little thing to add to your tool bag of tricks. All right. Awesome. Well, right now we have Cecilia in St. Paul, Nebraska. Good evening, Cecilia, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Thank you.
How are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What can we do for you this evening?
I don't really know. I've never done this before, so I just thought it would be interesting to do it.
Okay.
Is there like something specific that I can ask?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to tell before I ask. My husband and I have been trying to start our own family for about 6 years, and off and on with no success, seeing several doctors and such. And we are finally found a good doctor, yay, and are in the process of like heavily trying with treatments and things like that. And so I was kind of looking for maybe some insight or something regarding that.
Okay. Hang on just a moment. Let me tune in. I'm already getting some information coming in, so hang on just a minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I definitely feel a baby energy around you. It feels like a male energy that is kind of swirling and going and swirling around you. It's very joyous. It's very happy. So I feel that. Hang on just a minute. I feel like this is going to work for you. And the reason I say that is because this energy has been hanging around you for a while now. And sometimes what happens, and what I'm being shown right now, is that the soul, the baby that's trying to incarnate, wasn't quite ready. The timing was off for whatever reason. So a lot of times, people who are, engaging and trying to have a baby take it on as their issue, right? And again, there's sciences behind this, right? There could be a lot of reasons, but from a spiritual side of it, it is because that incarnation isn't quite ready to happen for whatever reason. There could be many reasons why that doesn't happen. But right now, I feel like there is this huge excitement and energy around this. So I'm feeling like this is going to be a really good thing for you guys, that this is, maybe finally that peace that you've been waiting for. Because like I said, it's like this bouncing, swirling energy that's coming through right now. And in fact, my head's tingling, my crown chakra's tingling. So that's usually a good sign of confirmation. I'm being shown that, you guys have been through a lot as far as, being patient and going through the steps and the processes, and that your angels and guides on the other side are saying, we see this, we understand what you've been going through. And so, rejoice in this, and be excited about it, about this new beginning, because really this is what it is. This is not just a new beginning with a baby, but this is a new beginning for you and your husband. It's like, I feel like you guys are going through this rebirth process, not only, with this baby coming on board, but just kind of within your lives, just starting anew. It feels like there's new excitement, there's new spark, right? A new chapter.
Okay. Is there any way to say when or a time frame?
So I'm going to put a caveat on this. On the other side, there really is no such thing as time. And so sometimes it's very hard for them to put into words exactly what kind of time frame we're talking about. So let me see what I can get from them. Hang on just a minute. I keep hearing spring. And so I've asked, is that a spring baby, like a birth? And I'm getting yes.
Okay.
Possibly March, April.
Okay.
Is kind of what I'm picking up right now.
Okay.
They're telling me that there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in your life. There's a lot going on around this situation. And so they're saying to be just a little bit more patient. You've been very, very patient through this entire process. But just, it may take a little bit longer than what you're hoping for, but I do feel that this is going to happen.
Okay.
They're not showing me much more on this subject right now. Is there another question that you had?
Regarding the same subject?
Or any
or
subject.
Else?
Yeah.
I guess at work, I am currently maybe looking at exploring some options of maybe advancing a little bit and moving on from where I'm currently at.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been contemplating, is it worth it? Kind of trying to do pros and cons in my own head about should I not. And I currently have an application filled out, getting ready to submit it, but I have cold feet.
So what they're showing me is like they're showing me a vision of like this woman, almost like the kid on Home Alone where he's running through the house and he's screaming and his arms are above his head. They're kind of showing me an image like that. Like it is just the situation that you're in at your work is a little bit chaotic and crazy and probably not in the best interest for you right now. I think you're having cold feet because there is a safety and a security component to this. You've been there for a while, you've established yourself. So moving on to something different and new is a little bit scary, but there's growth that needs to happen through this process. It's like you're closing the chapter of this book on where you're at right now. I mean, it's making you crazy is kind of what they're showing me. And so, moving forward and applying, if you don't get this particular job, what it's doing is it's projecting you and your energy forward so that you are able to find that job that you really do want. I feel like there's hesitation with this job, like maybe it isn't quite the right fit, this one that you're applying for, but there's no harm in applying, right? The worst thing that you could do is you get the job or you get offered the job and you decide, no, I this isn't for me, I'm not taking it, right?
Right.
So I'm being shown that it is probably a good thing for you to go ahead and apply for this job and see where it takes you. But I do see you eventually leaving the job that you're at.
Okay. Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Okay. Kind of jumping back to the subject that we talked about prior. My husband and I haven't always been totally on the same page with seeing doctors and things like that because of financial reasons and different viewpoints and things like that. I have a hard time gauging if that's still the case because it's just really not a subject that we really talk to each other about. We just kind of go. So sometimes it has hurt our relationship a lot.
So what they're showing me is that you guys are headed in a completely different direction. There's going to be some things that are resolved that may have been sticking points for you guys in the past. And bringing on this new journey is going to shift and change things for you guys a little bit. There's going to be more open conversation around this type of thing. And especially once you bring a child into this world, it changes your outlook and your perspective. When it's just you and your husband, you guys are focused on possibly different things like you're going through right now. But when you bring the child in, I'm seeing this big union between the two of you where you are cohesively coming together saying, okay, this is what we need to do for this child.
That would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else for me?
They're telling me to tell you to enjoy this journey, to embrace it and enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, your loved ones are kind of stepping back a little bit, which means that they've delivered the messages they feel that they need to be delivered.
Wow. That's very true.
I'm glad you
My parents
concur.
have been very, very standoffish and don't seem like they really want to talk to us about it. So that's very interesting.
Uh-huh. A little bit of a dual meaning there. So there you go.
Right.
Yes. And that's going to that's going to come around too. Okay. They're just needing a little bit of time to adjust. So you have to remember that you guys need to do what's important for you. You're living this life for you. You're not living this life for somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. Um, is there anything else that you have questions about?
Um, I don't really think so.
Okay, because they're not showing me anything. It's like they've clammed up on me. So I'm not getting much more.
Okay. Um, I am not sure, but are you also a medium?
I am a medium, yes.
You you are.
I
Um,
am.
I kind of have a strange thing. So, because I don't have my own children, my dogs are my children, and I love them more than I probably love my humans. And about a little over a year ago, my black lab Daisy passed away of cancer, and I always regret what I did in having her put down because of her sickness. Is there any way to tell, like, is she happy?
She is. She's bouncing around and playing, um, and she's saying not to worry. Don't feel bad that you did what you thought you needed to do, and it was what she needed. She's
Okay.
very at peace. She's very happy on the other side. Um, and she's around you a lot. She's around you a lot. Take notice with the pets in your house currently. If they start acting like they're looking at something, like they're looking past you and looking at something else, or if they're just kind of playing around and acting kind of silly, pretty good indication that she's with them and playing with them.
Okay.
Pets are very,
Is there
very,
any? Go ahead.
oh,
Sorry.
I was just going to say, pets are very intuitive.
Is there any way to tell who she's with?
I feel like there's a grandfather figure
Oh my
um,
goodness.
that, that she's hanging around with. It's like I'm being shown like the kind of like the farm grandfather. You got the overalls, and they're walking through the field. They're walking away from me. Um, so yeah, she's connected with a grandfather on the other side.
Okay. Is there any other pets with her? Or is she just by herself with him?
I'm not seeing any other pets or any other animals that are around them, but that doesn't mean that they're not. It just means that they're not making themselves available right now. But
Okay.
I'm just being shown a very vivid picture of her and a grandfather.
Okay. Is there anything specific about that grandfather.
He looks like he's showing up like I said, like overalls or um well, it's bringing to mind my grandfather, who would kind of wear these light, almost army color green pants, except this man is showing me that it's like the blue of that, right? So there's this light blue kind of color, um, but very, very farm-like, very casual. Um, he's definitely showing me that he's in his elderly years. Um, he almost has a little bit of a stoop, like his shoulders are kind of hunched over a little bit. But a very gentle, warm soul, very quiet. This man was very meek and mild. I mean, he was very quiet in his human life.
That would be my Grandpa Ted.
Very nice. Yeah, he's a beautiful soul. He's just
Yes,
very, very
much
gentle.
so.
Very gentle. Very gentle. So, well, Cecilia, we are coming down to the last few seconds of our show. So I want to say thank you so much for calling in, and I hope this has been beneficial for you.
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome, and best of luck to you and your family.
Thank you.
Well, that does it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the show tonight. If you would like to have a personal one-on-one reading, a group reading, or even a healing session from me, go to my website at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. And if you would like to check me out on my Facebook page, you can do so at Julie YeagerWalker Medium, or Your Time to Shine. Have a great and safe holiday weekend out there, everybody, and we'll see you next week.